In our English lesson today, we are going to be learning about commas. You might have lots of questions about commas. What is a comma? And what does it look like? Why do we need to use commas? When do we use them? This is what a comma looks like. There are many times that we have to use commas in sentences, but today we are going to learn about using commas in lists. Commas can be used to separate items in a list or series of things. For example, when we use a sentence where we list off 3 or more items, we need to use commas in between the words. But first of all, boys and girls, do you know what a list is? Here are some examples. A shopping list contains lots of fruit and vegetables and household goods. A guest list contains all the names of the people we are inviting to our birthday party. And a packing list contains all the things we need to pack for going on holidays. If I want to put 3 or more items in the list into a sentence, I have to separate them with a comma. And very importantly, between the last 2 words, we need to put the word and. Here are some examples of sentences that contain lists of items. The commas have been highlighted in red so you can see them more clearly. When you have 3 or more items in a list, we use commas to separate the items. The park was filled with chirping birds, barking dogs, and children. I went to the shop and bought some apples, oranges, milk, and bread. My favourite hobbies are swimming, dancing, reading, and cycling. Sometimes, if we forget to include commas in lists, the meaning of the sentence can change. Have a look at this sentence without commas. The park was filled with chirping birds, barking dogs, and children. When you forget to include commas, the sentence has a different meaning, and it sounds like you are trying to say the children are barking too. But when you include the commas, the meaning of the sentence changes. The park was filled with chirping birds, barking dogs, and children. Here is another example of how the meaning of a sentence can change when you do not include commas in the lists. My fruit bowl has green grapes, bananas, and apples. When you forget to include the comma in this sentence, it is as if you are saying you have green bananas in your fruit bowl. So remember, when you have 3 or more items in a list, we use commas to separate the items. Does anyone have any questions?